my mom and my dogs and self-proclaimed prophecy, eh? How can I create a life where I can just not worry about, like, what other people want from me in terms of financial obligations? Because you got to pay people just to live on this planet, seems like. Some people have figured out how to work around it. I haven't. But I guess if you figure out how to learn how to circumvent having to need... This is too loud. I'm talking over myself. Let me let folks know something. People that are in positions of power, that have authority given to them by the powers that be, they all got fucking classified documents in their garage. For Christ's sake, man. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heoka empath. I just like to have these little talks on the way I feel about things. I thought I'd do an early talk. I haven't done an early talk in years. Plus, I ate a cookie, and I don't need to just subject Mom to all my chatterboxing. So I thought I'd give it to anybody out there. It's been and plus, man, my brother sent me this coffee for Christmas. I don't drink a lot of coffee because this is what it does to me. Anyway, I don't drink a lot of it, and most of the time, it was just today and yesterday that I drank it straight caffeinated, because ordinarily I'll drink it half and half. I gotta find Blissful Belly. If people can find this, if anybody watches my video that can find this, the solutions, Blissful Belly. I don't care if it's little bags, big bags. It's by, yeah. We got distribution troubles here in Taos. But this managed to get to me. It's not a commercial for this stuff. Although I am a flavor snob. They mention it on Northern Exposure. It's good coffee. I wonder how long it's been around. Over 40 years? It ain't been around longer than me. Yeah, they taste good. I gave some to my friend, and he has his uncle come over, and they drink coffee in the after. And this is their afternoon pick me up coffee, you know. Anyway, I gave him some cookies, and he gave some to his. I got to learn more about him today, because I like to tell Mom about the people that I meet. And so in order to tell her about the people I meet, I got to ask the people questions. So today I got to know more about Augustine's kids and their ages and like their place in birth. And they don't hate my cookies. They love them. I'm putting the test products out. Look, it's my ideas. So I was like, look, Ma, the light looks like all my ideas shooting out into the universe. Anyway, so I wanted to tell a story about how I see. This whole channel is about my perception, my algorithm on the cave, so to speak. Allegory of the cave. It's an old... I think it's by Plato or something. I don't know. We talked about it in college, people's perceptions to see where they are. And nobody thought like me, so I just always kept my mouth closed. Maybe I should have spoke up more. Anyway, so human beings are basically just redundant pattern people, you know? They have their patterns from when they're a child, and then things are imprinted, and then people just continue to do the things that feel good or bad, whatever their wiring is. I don't know, there's just so much wiring. The electricity, people receive so many different ideas and thoughts about things based on their vibrational frequency and their likeness to others. It's trippy. So anyway, I was telling Mom this story. I said, Mom, I got to put all my photo albums from when I was younger. out. I thought maybe they'd be gone. Those we managed to come with us all the way from Oregon to here, but a lot of stuff didn't make it. So I found this. This is a picture of me when I was playing a powder puff game when I was 15, 1990, 1991. And then just this morning so at 15 and 48. Here, let me turn this down. So that was kind of cool to come across that. And then, I thought I deleted that picture. What pictures did I delete? If I didn't delete these pictures, oh my goodness, good thing they go to a folder for like 3 months. Oh, I'd see what pictures I deleted. Confounded. Albums recently deleted. Select these two, recover. Whew. Thank goodness there's always technological safety nets. I did see a woman though. I almost cried with her. I did. It was her. What she told me, she was like, I saved a blank document over my dissertation when I worked at Creighton University. She came down to the student service desk. I sat right there at the main window, and I was like, you can't. I can cry with you. I mean, it was a 126-page dissertation that she was ready to turn in. It was like her thesis. It was like her thesis, and gone. I mean, shoot. And I've done things like that where I'm like, why is my body clicking this? Why am I making it? Divinity overrides us. We're just remote control soul sacks, and we have a propensity to follow the energy, and most people go the easier, softer way. So that's why the world's getting shitty, because the easier, softer way, people aren't working. So stuff's halting. These are other pictures I found this morning. At the same age, I was still around 16. My friend Diana, she still does wedding portraits. We did glamour shots in the living room. This is like a blanket in the background. Just put up a felt blanket. That was a school picture. This one's a school picture, but that was like the glamour shot. That sweatshirt I call Woolly. I named it Woolly. I had better attachments with clothes than I did people, so I formed relationship. Like, it was my favorite sweatshirt, and I lost it. See, I was like one of the first consequences of me drinking, because I was drinking and went to a football game, CV versus Shasta, because my friends like doing stupid shit, and I just went along because I liked hanging out with my friends. I never watched. I hate football. I hate sports. I think it's all stupid. And it's a time suck. And but you go along to get along, right? And I lost it. There. So consequences of doing what I want to do. I do what I want. Anyway, red hat story. Let's get to the red hat story. I'm wearing my red hat. This is a red hat that I bought when I went on one of my tours. God bless you. One of my tours in Alaska. That's what they call them, is a tour. A TDY, a temporary duty assignment. They could have let the people on the base up there do it, but, militaries have gazillion all the money in the world budgets, so they do what they want. And they'll send people and they'll send us commercial from, fly us up from Omaha to frickin' put oil on some equipment. Change the oil in some equipment that hasn't been run more than 12 hours in the previous year. And misappropriation of funds, I got a lot of stories about it. I got a lot of stories about misappropriation of funds in the very short 6 years I was in. It's funny, I was in the Air Force and I was like, man, so this is why poor people can't get the shit that they need. Because you have a bunch of people that freaking just get more than they could ever use. It's gross. Anyway, red hat story. So, earlier I was beginning to talk about how our program is established when we're young and by our environment and the adults that are around us when we're young, the adults that, you know, we're subjected to or whatever, you know, we're just sometimes it's like, parents, yeah, they just they leave their kids with people they don't know and stuff like that. Anyway, getting off tangent. But, and then terrible things can happen. But, I was reminded of this story this morning because I came across this picture and I was like, Mom, I don't like red hats. I said, I don't like red. I said, two of my least favorite colors are, two of my least favorite colors are red and purple. I don't like what purple represents. I don't like all that. We are regalia and we are important and all that stuff. And that's all that stuff. I ain't into it. And so that's why I don't like it. And so, like, when people, like, are boastful about wearing it, then they tell me that's what their vibrational frequency is. And then they're telling me, okay, we probably aren't in alignment. We aren't about the same stuff. So be well. Have a good day. And I found this picture of me, and Mom had a brother, Uncle Kelly. Uncle Kelly was homosexual. He did hair and he lived in San Francisco in the 80s. You know, when he was old enough to go out on his own, that's how he chose to live his life. And then Mom kept in touch with him, I think, but we didn't see him very often, and he died of hepatitis when I was 12 years old. That was the first time I saw some crematory ashes. Mom got to bring some of his ashes home, but they were in an envelope. That was the first time I saw human remains cremated. Anyway, so it was like sand. I'm like, people are sand. We end up sand. Trippy. So I came across this picture. I can't take it out because it's in the photo album. But that is a picture of me as a baby, enamored with my Uncle Kelly's red hat. Now, kids are drawn to bright colors and stuff like that. I'm still drawn to bright colors and stuff like that. But I was telling Mom, I said, we have our early programming, and I equate emotions with frequency, vibrational frequency. I do personally. And so my explanation for buying a hat that I don't like is because it triggers a feeling in me that is stored in my mind that reminds me of a time that I felt cared for and loved. And so when I went to Alaska, I was going through kind of a hard time. Girl problems. And my spirit longed for that feeling. It wanted to feel, it was like feeling neglected. It was feeling less than. So, that what I did is I went and bought myself a red hat, unbeknownst to me that I'm putting myself, it's reminding me of a frequency of a time in which I felt the feelings that I was looking for, right? And I didn't have to go back to that time, but because as far as I'm concerned, there's two things that are time machines that people don't look at as time machines. And those two things are music and alcohol. And sometimes those combined actually put people in different times and can cause problems. So we're about to learn more about thinking and psychology and electricity and energy and all that jazz. Because the allegory of the cave is changing. So people's perceptions are changing. People are getting, more and more people are getting to that point in their life of all ages, because there's a lot of young people, you know, that this question and it came up when I was young. I've been trying to figure out, why are we here? Why are we doing this the whole time? And I get my little bits, and I got my little piece of the puzzle, and I share it here on my tiny tube on how I feel about how things are. And this was kind of an interesting thing that happened this morning. I keep track of patterns, a lot of different patterns. And one of the patterns that I track is weather. And I just look at I can go to 3 different weather apps, and you'll get 3 different temperatures of the local area. And weather is not exact. They designed a science that people can perpetuate a whole system where a lot of people get paid and they don't ever have to be right. There is 30, my heart goes out to all those folks that their freaking lives have been changed and they're having their awakening. In 9 states, 35 tornadoes? Where are all those people going to go? And fortunately, a lot of those people from the neighborhoods I saw, a lot of those people probably have several houses in different states, so they'll probably just kick somebody out of one of the houses, out of their houses that they own, and then they'll just take it over. So, but the thing of it is, less houses, less places for people to live. More people are ending up on the street. What are the powers that be that are paying themselves $220,000 a year now? What are they doing to help? They don't, and they drag their feet. We had the biggest fire in New Mexico history this year, evidently, and it was started by the federal agencies. It was started by the United States Forestry Department, because some dipshit nephew somewhere said, let's go out and do a controlled burn. But sir, it's windy today. I don't care. Don't you know who I am? Go do it. And then they did it, and then the fire started in 2 different places, and then it met in the middle. It's freaking lame. The people in charge are stupid, man. They're so dumb. Anyway, what was I starting to tell? I was starting a story. Oh, so I track weather. Yesterday, I need to take screenshots of this, because yesterday was 51. Today it's supposed to be 53. And then when I looked day before yesterday, I saw 51 today, which was tomorrow then, and then 53 the day after that, which is today. Anyway, so and then it was going to be in the 40s, right? I'm like, okay, this is cool. I talked to my buddy Augustine. He's like, it's supposed to get crappy. Now, yesterday in my talk, I mentioned about how they've been spraying so much crap in the sky. And here they do it to keep the tourists happy. Because you have people that that's how they spend their lives. They don't do anything to ever help anybody else. They don't pick up garbage where they are around, but they have enough in their life to just go from place to place and just fucking play all the time. And so you have people that come to the Taos ski lodge and to play, to just stand on sticks, go down a hill. Stand on a board, go down a hill. Go back up a hill on a lift, go down a hill. And whee! Well, you got whee in there. And sometimes, oh dear, fall down. Learn how to do better. But the people in the community, dirt poor, living in the shittiest conditions. Shitty conditions, because people don't care about people. People care about money. And they do it so much. This is the world we get. Back to the weather. So I said, what? It's supposed to get... No, it's supposed to be nice for like the 2-week forecast. It's like mid-40s. Like we're in a cool period. And so I look at it. Sure as shit, there's a weather warning. They spray stuff and then they make weather. And then here, where I live in northern New Mexico, I sent my friend pictures. I said, have you ever seen snow like this? It looks like styrofoam. It's ballsy like styrofoam. I've seen snow in Nebraska. I've seen snow in California. I've seen snow. Why is snow different in different parts of the world? Because they got different manufacturers that make different freaking bullshit that creates weather. They've been using weather modification since 1919. I remember, or 1909 is when it started, or when they found the technology that was covered up before, because human beings aren't smart enough to come up with new stuff. They just keep reinventing the old stuff. That's what sports are. Sports. I see sports as one game just being played forever, and all the resources and all the life force energy and all the energy harvesting that goes into sports. That's why it's the modern day Roman BS. See, in all these groups, it doesn't matter how good the group claims to be. In the group, there's people that have their own agendas. So you got all these people that their self-will is run rampant and riot, and they've been put in positions of power and authority, and they're doing really weird stuff. They're showing you who they've always wanted to be. Like me with that little kid. Ooh, look at the red hat. Why would I buy a red hat that I don't like? I don't like red. It's two of my least favorite colors. There's all the other colors I like before these two. It's a vibrational frequency. It brings me to a place. It reminds me of a place. It makes me feel good. And how many people on this planet do the same thing with food? I've had my weight's gone up and down my whole entire. I've struggled with it. I came to the conclusion years and years ago. Check this out. How many people you hear on the tubes talk about this? And if they do, let me know who they are, because I want to hear it. And that is, weight has more to do with somebody's emotional well-being than it does with the food that they consume and what they eat. It has more to do with hanging on to hurt and those negative emotions that are high in density. Once people start releasing those feelings and acknowledging, standing up and saying, this stuff happened to me and it was bullshit. And I want to make sure that if I'm in present company where I see any bullshit happening, that I don't care who's doing the bullshit. I'm going to stand up and be like, you know what? I call what you're doing bullshit. And I've gotten into a lot of trouble doing that in my life. And I don't care. Because I can't stand control freaks, man. I hate having a control. We're on a schedule here because Mom likes a schedule. I don't like a schedule. I'm more spontaneous. I got to do what's best for Mom. So override my own desires? What? People do that? No, they just live the best version of their lives for themselves as the cracks of society get wider. So I know people are stepping into the best version of themselves, And I don't even, unless somebody's fit, if I see somebody and not even fit, but trying, because there's plenty of people that don't know how to let go of their emotions, but they still move their bodies, and they still exercise, and they still try. The people I don't recognize, because I don't got that kind of time, are the people that don't even try. And how big is this planet really? If I'm focused on just the people that try compared to all the people that don't, how big is the planet really? How many of those people are really on the planet? Because I don't recognize none of that other stuff. My brother, when I was a kid, I was just like, how do you get back at these big companies? How do you get back? It's not fair. I've been yelling injustice and it's not fair since as long as I can remember. And he's like, well, if you don't like a company, don't give them your money. And I'm like, okay, but, people like the stuff that the companies make, so their egos will circumvent it, and they're not, because people don't care what companies do. People don't care. People don't care. People care about their creature comforts. They care about having everything they need when they want it. They care about not being uncomfortable ever. And life is about balance, man. So you don't get to stay comfortable without being uncomfortable. And more people are figuring that out. Ask all the folks that their lives have been touched by tornadoes. And the weather's only going to get worse, man. Because you got all these people that believe like Ben does, right? And the more people that the bigger his channel gets, the possibility for that reality, the trajectory towards that timeline grows in potential because perception is reality. So the more people that believe in something, see something, are made to believe in something, that is the trajectory in which the world is headed. And we are headed down a real dark trajectory right now because you got these fucking weirdos that just have nothing but money, that don't care about environment, but are telling us to sacrifice and struggle and go without because it's all about the human sacrifice. It's an energy frequency. They gain in power when people suffer. Until people start, changing in themselves, the world is headed into a trajectory that it's unprecedented. It's just going to get nuttier. It's going to get nuttier. And people don't know how to calm themselves down. They don't know how to. I had a nice, pleasant exchange with my neighbor this morning. We kind of had a rocky start, I think it's like we were kind of like, because I'm not gonna. It's a total freaking dominance. It's like I'm not a bitch. You're not a bitch. Just let's not treat each other like bitches, okay? Let's just be respectful of one another, and there are not going to be any problems, right? I'm very old fashioned, like that. And one day we had some words, and yesterday or the day before, I can relate to the guy and his mom. I forgot this. This is also another thing about frequency, is that we are supposed to meet the people that we're supposed to meet in a very divine way. I found out a synchronicity when I was talking to my friend Augustine this morning that gave me chicken skin. Because I was asking him about all his kids. I was asking him their ages, their birth order. And he was telling me his oldest daughter. See, now his birthday is my sister that got killed in the motorcycle accident, September 23rd, 2022. Her birthday is the same as Augustine's, my friend. Native man, lives on the Pueblo. He was telling me his daughter's birthday, his oldest daughter, her birthday's on the November 28th, same day as mom's. That is a divine connection. And it's cool for me to be able to say to him, I said, do you recognize that I have traveled all these years and all these miles, and he's lived in Taos a lot, but he used to fight fires in his younger days, so he's been all over Northern California. We've been, it's like we've been in the same places. It's like we end up at the same places at different times until ultimately our paths cross. That is how like attract likes for me. My like is just less than the majority of the planet's like. There's less like me than there are of everybody else. Because most stuff people are into, I ain't into. Anyway, the positive exchange that I had, and it was cool because it was like, we didn't have to talk about what happened, Ain't no need to just move on from here. Well, a couple days ago, he's been working real hard to clean things up. I could tell he's been going through I've been through these periods, like, oh God, I can't stand, I don't want to clean that today, and then days go by and then things get bad and out of your control, and it gets out of hand. So things, you could tell he was in a dark place. He's coming out of it. He's worked real hard to get it cleaned up. And his mom freaking had, somebody came in with the trailer and they hauled off 2,500 pounds, over a ton of just garbage to the dump. He's been putting effort in to make things better than they were yesterday. So you got to give people, you don't got to have any kind of opinion about people to acknowledge that the good that they're doing. People care too much about liking people. And then do the other stuff? No, do the other stuff, and then maybe you can decide if you like them later. Don't matter. People don't got to like people. People don't have to like people to freaking listen to what they have to say. I listen to plenty of people I don't like on the tubes. I'd never hang out with them. They got a good information. Anyway. So, he'd gotten this old junk car that had been in an accident. And he got it for parts. And he brought it in, fixed his Camaro, but now needed to get rid of the car. So a couple days ago, I was outside walking Tucker, and he's like, I could see, I don't have my glasses, I can't see real good far away, but I could see he's got a tow strap on there, like a cargo strap, you know, and then he's trying to tow the other Camaro. And so I was like, but he was gassing it. It wasn't going anywhere. White smoke was coming out the back. I was like, dude, stop. Oh my God, I couldn't even watch. I'm just like picturing his freaking engine and he just did major maintenance on it. I mean, well, I don't know how major it was, but he did maintenance on it, so not too recent, but it wasn't designed to do that. That's not what it was made for. And I was like, stop, I got AAA. And so he's like, nah, it's cool. He thought it was cool that, and then his friend that was with him, he even said, that is really cool that you even offered that. And I used to do that in Oregon. See, because all you need, when you got AAA, all you need is the card. And so, like, you don't need to know the person that's broke down. Then you got to, like, wait around an hour for the tow truck or whatever to show up. But, you know, if you got an hour and you're helping somebody that much, so be it. Anyway, so I've done that a couple of times. Somebody's broke down, I wait around, let them get a tow. All right, see you later. Because that's all, they just got to see me with the card and my ID. Well, he came up to me this morning when I was walking Tucker around, and he was like, so you said you got AAA? I was like, yeah, I got AAA. What you need? He said, well, a guy's going to give me a truck, a 4x4 Ford Ranger. He's like, but it's up in wherever he said. I said, I don't know where that is. Hey, Tuck. Hey, baby Tuck. Good boy, buds. You want up? Go over here. Good boy. One in the window. There he goes. There he goes. Do I know my dogs or what? Go ahead, buds. Shake it up, Nubbins. Come on. Good boy. Get some sunshine. See, now the sun's coming out. Good boy, Tuck. And I was like, oh, great. What am I trying to commit myself to? Go ahead, bud. Go ahead. Come here. I can't take you out right. Okay, I got to take him out. Let me wrap this up. So I don't know, but it's supposed to storm tomorrow, and I don't know if AAA, I got a call today, but I'm going to call with him when he's around so he can hear what they're going to say. Because I'd be willing to do it. I got a 2-hour window with Mom, hour up there, whatever, make an appointment, whatever. You be nice. Let Benny lay down, you crabby old turd. And so, anyway, we'll see. Story continues. That's about all I got for now. Hope you